What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. Before we get started, hit your like, subscribe, your notification bell, and share the video because that's how others find me here on YouTube. Then make sure you are following me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. So let's get it started. This is the official sister review for season 6B, episode 30 of Love Amir Huntsville. What up, sister? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. What did you think of episode 30? We are still in Houston.
I like this episode. I thought it brought a lot of excitement. It was pretty interesting. I gave it a 9.5 on the scale.
Okay. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I think I might have come in higher before, but after I watched it a second time, I had an opportunity to see that production was up to its old tricks. They do this quite a bit where they will drop a bomb on the audience with something that a cast member says or does, and there is no follow up. There is um, no one on the cast say, "Hey, what do you mean by this?" There's no accountability for some of the cast members. And even the people that it's directed toward, they don't give follow up. And it can leave us feeling a little bit unsatisfied. Not even a little bit, a lot of bit. There were one, two, three, four moments in this episode that I'm going to talk about when we get there. But just a reminder, because there's some things that happen in this scene that brought it home for me. Season 5, Madani with Destiny. We remember Destiny cutting a whole monkey in this scene. Like she lost her ever loving mind, left her body, never came back to it. And there is a moment where Melody and her mother are leaving the store, and Destiny calls out to Melody's mom. She says, "Why don't you go and pimp out your daughter?" It was it was vile. It was like a
Yes.
vile and crazy thing to watch. Did you see that scene?
No.
It was one of the things that really tore Destiny down.
Oh, well,
'Cause
yeah, I could see that.
she never
Hmm.
apologized for it. She said she had no regrets. Um, she ended up saying something like, "I should have apologized to her mother," but she didn't, as far as I understand. I think her mother said that she had not heard from her. So it was just one of those things that was just left open ended. And it wasn't even addressed at the reunion. I don't recall CarlosKing mentioning it. And then Destiny continued to keep this really raggedy narrative where she says, "Don't make me tell the truths I hold about you to Melody." That was like a threat. Like, "I
Ooh.
know things about you. I know you have bodies buried," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh God, not again." And then Maurice adds to the fire by saying, "Destiny, don't do that, Destiny. Don't do that. Get the hell out of here." It was also a ridiculous scene. No follow-up from Carlos, no
Hmm.
questions about it. Um, and everybody stayed mute. I think Melody may have said, "Do it," to that or something to that extent. But Martell, everybody else on the stage stayed completely mute. And at this point, a lot of the audience, because of how irrational Destiny appeared on the show
Mm-hmm.
against Melody, and how protective she was of her friendship with Martell and just with Martell, period. A lot of people just were like, something's going on between Destiny and Martell.
Hmm.
Now, that did get brought up on the reunion stage.
Of course. Why wouldn't it?
I think she might have said something like he's her friend, but either way, some things happen like that in this episode too. So I'm going to address them when we get there. But this episode is all about trust and rebuilding trust, which is crazy because this group of friends have never had trust from season 1, episode 1. No one trusted each other ever. This has always been a group who, again, season one, we found out that Marceau called the police on Martell. Melody was like, "You're trying to damage our reputation in the community with our business contacts." Remember, Tisha's mom was saying horrible things about Melody and her children in season one. Off season, this is some things that was going on, and it got addressed there. But everybody in the Scott family had been doing crazy things, and it was just wild to see. So now that we're in this trust building exercise, I'm like, well, what does trust actually look like for this group? Because we've never actually seen it.
No, and they're so far from it.
Yeah, they're so far from it. Melody and Martell were even though they were married, they they were they were in a they had a situation. Martell had been caught cheating. Melody was trying to figure out if she was going to stay, if she was going to go. She ended up going. But that seems to be the sentiment for everyone. Um, we got the Scotts, Marceau and Tisha. They don't trust each other in their relationship right now. That is what they're feeding us as an audience. We don't know if we can trust each other. Same with Kimmy and Maurice. We don't know if we can trust each other. And then we got the individual friends. Kiki, of course, is a problem for all of the Scotts. Excuse me. But Stormy also has her problems with Tisha and Marceau. Who else? And then Melody, of course, got her problems with all of them. It's just
Right, everybody.
everybody.
Hmm.
And I'm going to put the audience in there too, child. We also don't trust them. Can we please get a free fall exercise um, for the show and the production teams at this moment? But outside of that, let's get into it. It starts where we left off. They got this trust building exercise. It's clearly set up by production. Um, Nell basically says, everybody who has an issue with trust, we're going to pair together. And that's when she screams, "Come on, Martell and Melody," right?
She does.
And,
Hmm.
and it's pretty much rehearsed.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it that had to be a production call because I can't imagine. I can't imagine anybody would put those two together outside of production, and B, I can't imagine Mel would willingly do it otherwise. So
Right.
yeah.
She pretty much said it. I saw some information floating around on Facebook, but she pretty much said it was a production call. She doesn't blame Nell for it. She said Nell and her are solid. But she said everybody else, y'all can, it's free game. Fair game,
Right.
everybody else. So anyway, after we get these free fall exercises, then we get Kiki. They actually show her pulling up, getting out of the van. We know Kiki made that call when they were in Houston to Nell saying, "Hey, can I come?" Right? I
Hmm.
wonder if Kiki even intended to go because she didn't come with the group initially. You know what mean?
Right, right, right. She came as a separate, yeah,
She came separately. She
on a
came
different
without
day
her
even. Hmm.
husband. Mhm. So now I'm kind of curious if she even intended to go. Maybe it was like a last minute decision because the Scots weren't giving us anything. We know this because it was a bunch of camera tricks. Tisha pretending like she's sleeping on the couch because she just can't trust Marcel. Even when when Kimmy was like, she was like, "What, you slept on the couch?" "Yes, I did. Yes, I did." I was like, "Girl,
Oh god.
this is a bunch of malarkey." But you know who can get these people going? You know how we're going to get this revved up? We're going to
What's
bring
that?
in Kiki. And I feel like production said, "Girl, go on ahead and get that call.
Oh,
Let's get you flued out
right.
to Houston so that you can help us get some real scenes out of Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy, and Maurice. Because when she walked in the house, those four, you can see their heart drop out of their body.
Oh, yes. What the hell is this? We gave everything we had.
Yeah, they were like, "This is the last day of filming. We skated, baby. We out."
Right.
Okay.
They were feeling good about themselves.
Right. The Fletchers got the house for an extra day. So we're going to stay here for an extra day, hang out in the pool, and we out after that. You could see it. You could see it. When they walked in the house, they were upset that they were going to be forced to engage Kiki, because why else is she there? She ain't got a
Right.
problem with nobody else,
Right. She
but
ain't got a problem with nobody else. So
nobody else.
you're it.
You're it. She says hello to everybody. She gives hugs to Kimmy and Maurice, Tisha and Marceau. Marceau just backs away from her. I think he drinks water. I think he probably would have hugged her too because Marceau seems like he doesn't. Sorry, I know people don't like for anybody to take up for Marceau, but when Kiki came into that backyard, even though those rumors were already running rampant and
Mm-hmm.
she had her name in it, when he says, "Hello, Kiki," "Hello, Kiki," that
Mm-hmm.
was just as everyday as you could be. I
Yeah,
don't
he doesn't hold a deep grudge.
well, I won't say he doesn't hold one, but he didn't
Mm-hmm.
have one.
Mm-hmm.
So when he sees her, he definitely starts drinking the water, and I think he's doing a temperature check for everybody else. But Tisha turns around and looks at him. She's definitely saying something to him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is. She's saying it with her eyes. She's saying it with her body.
She's probably mouthing something like, "I'm not doing this," because that's her
Right.
favorite thing to say. "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this." So now Marceau is, trying to figure things out. And we know he's not mad because when Nell starts crying, because Tisha walks out the room, he
Mm-hmm.
says, "It's okay, Nell. Don't
It's
worry
okay.
about
Now he pats her on the back.
it. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it." But I'm getting ahead of myself. Even before that happens, Nell makes the comment, Melody and Kiki had, kind of made it seem like it was Mel and Kiki who wanted to come. But,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to come. I wouldn't have invited her otherwise if it wasn't for Mel. That's how she made it seem.
Mm-hmm.
And so now Tisha has it like, "Oh, so Mel is trying to come after me." I get that impression.
Right.
But Nell said, "You're here to apologize. That's what you told me when you called the day we were here. You said you were coming to apologize." And then they give a flashback of Melody. She's packing, saying she's going to Houston. And Kiki says, "I wanted to go to apologize. I want to go and apologize too." Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So Kiki apologizes. Now, I felt Kiki's apology fell short.
Yes, it did.
I feel it fell short for a few reasons. Number one, I think that this entire season long, well, let me start with this. When you're in recovery, the two things that you are repairing is your word and your character.
Mm-hmm.
Your word needs to be your bond, and people need to see you in a different light. And this season, and I've been saying this all season long, this isn't something new for anybody who comes over to the channel to hear this review and tell me that I'm taking something. Child, this has been my commentary. Kiki, from the very day she shows up on season 6B, it is, are you in anger management? Are you in counseling?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Come on, girl, let's do this drug test real quick. Okay? Squat in this shed and let's see if these colors turn.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that since the beginning of the season. So a lot of people have been putting it on her, whether it was Tiffany, whether it was Stormy, whether it was Mel, or her family, Tisha and Marceau. That's been the story. So here was her moment to say, "I've been doing the work. I've been doing the work that everybody has been questioning, and you don't get to question me."
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt.
Right.
And I thought she fell short of in her apologies
Mm-hmm.
because you did throw the water. And even though people are saying it's just water, child, that type of water, the way she threw that water would have probably had people squabbling.
Any kind. If you throw anything, if you blew a straw across the room and it tapped me, if it came close, we're going at it.
We're going
We're
at
we're not leaving out. We're not leaving. We're leaving this room in handcuffs. The
right.
two of us.
For most people, if you did something like that, somebody gonna have some grass stains, okay?
Okay.
All up and down this
Right.
yard.
Braids will be missing. Teeth will be knocked out. Something's going down. I'm sorry.
Something's
That's
happened.
just the way it's gonna work.
Facts. But I do like all of the people that I've been reading say it was just water. It's not a big deal. For all of y'all the real MVPs. I wish I could put y'all faces on my Avi circle because I didn't know there was that many people that was that forgiving. But it happened. And Tisha, at some point, got to say she took it like a champ because she didn't move. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when Kiki said, child, I I apologize for invading your personal space.
I was like, that's not an apology.
I'm like, her
You did
personal
more than
space?
invade that girl's personal space, but okay.
I was like, yes, child was just a tad bit more than personal space. And you could have owned that moment in a way that would have had people applauding because really,
Yeah.
that's what the recovery process is. It's owning what you did wrong, not only in your past, that's something I did in my past, but also in your present. So yeah, it happened a month ago, but it's okay to say, girl, I really popped you with that damn water.
Right. Right.
I really tried to take your head off with that water, Tisha. I did not realize it until after it was done, but clearly I allowed my energy, my anger to get the best of me
Okay.
because you're in anger management now, child. You're taking accountability for you. That's
Yeah.
what I was expecting. And when I didn't get it, I was like, oh,
Yeah. I did the ooh too. Yeah. It was that was a gut punch. It was like, man, that you might as well just throw the water back in her face. I mean, that's literally what you just did.
you threw the water back in her face, right?
Right. You threw it twice at this point.
Because now you're putting your heel in it, you're digging.
Right.
You're like, bitch, I don't care. Then the other funny moment is she doesn't apologize to Marceau at all.
I know. I was like, isn't she missing somebody? One, two, three. Yep.
Marceau was
She was
hugging
like, I'm done.
himself.
Bye. Right.
She did say bye. Marceau was hugging himself. He was rocking. Like, I know my
Right.
apology coming, baby.
He's in a damn straitjacket. Yes.
I
He's
said
cutting his eyes up at the top of his head. Like, what?
she spilled Marceau's marbles all over the
Right.
floor and didn't pick one of
Exactly.
them up. Not
Nope.
one. And then she handed the little microphone back over to Nell and walked up to the platform like, okay,
Right.
I'm done. That cracked me the hell up.
Ah, yes.
But it also gave Tisha a moment to act more of a victim.
Yeah.
And I feel like if she would have at least just made it into a little bit of a joke, like, girl, you know how we do, okay? Like if she would have done something like that, it would have, it would have, it would have had more people, it would have brought more empathy to her, I think.
Yeah. It may have even given Tisha a little bit more space to make a response, like, well, I don't do that. And then she could say, yeah, you're right. I know that you don't do it. And I am sorry, truthfully, from the bottom of my heart. Like, walk closer to her, be something in the moment. Eh, yeah, there was
There was nothing.
yeah, there was
I have
nothing.
to feel, part of me was like, she's being ignored again when Tisha turned her back to her. And Kiki does not like to be challenged or ignored.
Yeah,
So when
it's
she came
troublesome for
in
people.
and she turned her back to her and
Hmm.
she was hugging everybody, it's been a month, she hasn't spoken to her. It triggered something in her as well. So she
Hmm.
walks backward. But Tisha's found that to be an opportunity to again get what she wanted out of production because production wanted that interaction. Tisha and
Right.
Marceau didn't want to give it. So Tisha runs out the room, put some whatever you call them, no more dry eyes or whatever the hell in her eyeballs,
Hmm.
put on a little show. Marceau walks out. It's okay, Neil. Of course it's okay. He's like, listen, child, we ain't giving y'all what y'all want. So let me go in here and console my wife because I'm gonna tell you what Marceau does not do, and that's console Tisha. I ain't never seen it ever.
Well,
So
this
now,
is the second time he's done it this season.
oh, when did he do it the first time?
He gave that fake one when they were at their place of business under where that place that was under construction,
Child,
and
yeah.
she was crying, and he went over and
You're right. He touched her like he didn't know her. He
Right.
touched her shoulder. He touched her shoulder and said, "Oh, Tisha, don't cry. You're gonna mess up your makeup.
Right.
You're gonna mess up your makeup." Oh
You're
my God.
killing me.
Thank you for reminding me. I forgot.
Yes.
Yes. So he goes into the kitchen. He stands away from Tisha and he's like, "Yes, yes. Nell owes us a conversation. Melody owes us a conversation. How dare they bring her here knowing that you were assaulted, right?" Then
Mhm.
Nell Fletcher gives us, "Oh, I told her that she might not be able to stay." And from what we all know now, there was
Right.
a vote. There was a vote that actually took place. They drew straws and Melody, Martell, Courtney, and Stormy said Kiki should stay. Scott's 1 2.0, 1 and 2.0, and who else? The Fletcher said she should go. So that's when we get the speech. "Well, Kiki, I told you that this might happen. And since we are divided, you're not going to be able to stay." Right?
Correct.
And you can tell that Kiki looks a little hurt. She looks confused and maybe a little angry. Maybe I'm saying hurt, but she looks defeated, right? Like, this is happening to me again because she doesn't know the tricks of production. She doesn't
Not
know how
yet.
it works. She's
Mm.
thinking she's being invited. Now she's being kicked out and she doesn't know how to own the moment.
Right.
You know who does? Bam. This one right here. She can know where she can say right here. Well, she can say where with me. Whatever.
Yeah, she said that quick. She was like, we ain't doing all this.
Before, yeah, she didn't know what the hell. She didn't know what the hell the rookie was gonna say, but she was like, "Wait a minute, we ain't." Even if we did draw straws and it turned out Kiki was on the losing end of that straw, she ain't going no damn where
Right.
because I said so.
Right.
Boom. And I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Right. Ain't nobody got time for production to be trying to produce something that ain't gonna happen. So I'm
Correct.
about to stop you right in your tracks.
The best part of it is no one challenges Stormy when she said it. Don't
Mm-mm.
challenge me. But it made Kiki pipe in and say, I'm not going to be ran out of here, especially by them. The them that she just apologized to.
Right. But we now know it's because of the vote.
Production.
Right. It's the because of the vote, right? The
Because of the vote. Well, she said, "You're not running me out of here, especially them. I'm not going to be ran out of here, especially by them. I don't
right.
have to stay at the house." But she's letting people know I'm demanding. I'm reclaiming my time. Okay, is what
Mm-hmm.
she said, and people are going to have to deal with it. And
Right.
nobody says anything, which was actually awesome because I think in confessional Chris and Nell actually said we should have been walking Kiki out the door because she changed the energy for all of us. We should have been walking Kiki out the door. But that's when good old Martell chimes in. Martell chimes in because I guess Marceau decided he wanted to, earn his paycheck, so he came after Mel. Mel, I really wish you would have come to us and let us know that this was going on. Remember when you and I sat together as friends, and you told me that I didn't have the full story? Well, you didn't have our story. And Melody's like, I beg your pardon? What? What? And then Martell
Mm-hmm.
says, what story? Was y'all talking about me? Was y'all talking about me? Okay. Martell came over and put his hand on Marceau's shoulder. And then that's when we see the beige brother smack that hand off of Marcel's shoulder, like, "Don't do it."
Not the
Okay?
beige brother. Uh-huh.
For sure. For sure. He's beige. We know
I
that.
see. I get it.
And Martell let him take his hand off of him, okay. But the second Marceau tried to talk with his hands, put his hand up, Martell swatted that hand down so hard and
Mm-hmm.
so fast. I was like, "Boo, I don't know what to say here." He
Right.
said he made the comment, "Why are you so close?
Yeah. He said, why are you getting so close to me?
Why are you so close to me, sir? Back the hell up." But
Right.
Martell stayed as close as he was the first time. He never moved. And he was like, "I'm tired of you and the Fletchers constantly, making me the problem. Y'all only believe Melody. I'm always the blame." And then you hear Tisha. Here's one of those comments I was telling you about. You hear Tisha say, "Did you ask Mel what she did?" What kind of
Yeah.
fraganagle?
What
What kind of fraganagle bull is
is
that?
that?
Did you ask Mel what she did? Mel and Martell have not been together for 3 years. Tisha, in this moment, is all the way wrong. I'm just gonna put it out there.
100.
Even when Melody and Martell were together and you guys were in your friendship group, you were supposed to be Mel's friend, not Martell. So what do you mean? Did you ask Mel what she did? But Marceau had the best answer. He said, "Hell no. What would I ask her what she did, Tisha? I didn't want to hear it from Martell. Why would you even ask me that?" He's
Right.
frowning up like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
But it's out there now. Did you ask Mel what she did? It's out there. And now the audience is sitting here like, "Well, girl, what did she do? Because why are you saying that?"
Right.
But now Nell Fletcher's involved. She's jumping like a little, I don't even know what to call her, but she's upset shit. She's screaming at the top of her lungs at Martell. She tells him, "I'm a woman first, and I don't know what you mean by I'm taking Melody's side. I'm a woman first. And you messed up. You messed up your family. You did this." He said, "You're always telling me that." Well, baby, you did do it, okay? So she's screaming at him and she finally decides to leave. Everybody is paying attention. Only Marie seems to be behind Martell in a way that says, "If something goes down, I will take care of it." Some
Mhm.
kind of way, Nell Fletcher's husband, Chris, because at this point, I'm going to call Chris, Nell Fletcher's husband, the way we call Simone Biles' husband. Simone Biles' husband. Okay? You get no credit here. Nell Fletcher's husband
Nell Splasher's husband.
and Simone Biles' husband, okay? You guys are on the same plane right now.
Yeah, he missed the boat on that one.
Facts.
Big time. Especially for a show of men that are constantly going around talking about how they're taking up for their wives.
Correct.
That would have been the perfect opportunity, and he didn't. He was nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be
He
found.
was a
So
total ghost in that room.
Nell Fletcher's husband, somehow he gets into the middle, but not really, okay? Then Nell walks out of the room and she's like, "I'm gonna slap the shit out of Martell, okay? And it might be possible that my husband might get the fighting with Martell. But we ain't gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see nothing that suggested that, but that's what she said." Stormy runs after Nell, and then they start talking a little bit. Tisha makes her way into the room. Kimmy makes her way into the room. Melody makes her way into the room. Melody bends down to talk to Nell, like, "What's going on? What's wrong?
It's
What
okay.
happened?
You got to go this far. Yeah.
Why are you acting out like this?" She went, "Well, Martell said that you was cheating on him." "Melody, damn it, why are you cheating on Martell?" Like she does this scream thing. And
Mhm.
Melody said, "Only time I dated after Martell is when I moved out." Okay. And she gives
Right.
some dates. Okay. She had dates, times, places,
Right. Addresses.
the type of car she drove,
Right. The
what she
outfit
was
she
wearing
wore.
that day. She made sure everybody
She
felt
had every receipt there was.
attacked. Now, I'm going to say that this scene was cut wrong. Like you could see at one point, Marceau and Tisha are in the room together while Martell is screaming at the top of his lungs. And at this point, Stormy is coming after him because he's like, "Child, you messed up. You messed up your family." Right? And I
Mhm.
do have to say, I like the way she handled herself with Martell.
Yes. Even Courtney was like, "Hey, hey." She was like, "Uh-uh. You asked a dumb question, you're gonna get a response."
I liked how she handled herself with Martell, and I liked her accent. I like accents if people didn't know. But when Crazy Kimmy tries to interject. Are you saying that if one person cheat, anything that happens after that is fair game? She was like,
And
yeah.
she said, yes, I am.
She
That's
said,
exactly what I'm saying.
she
Now,
said,
what you
yeah.
got to say about it?
She said, yeah, if it done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if it done. Okay. If I'm gonna say we're done. I was like, what did you say? Let me get these damn
Cut it out,
closed caption on up on here.
girl.
Okay, I heard her say it was done, and if it done, then it's done.
Girl.
When she moved to the apartment. But then you see Melody now. They showed Marcel with Tisha, but then you see Melody in the back laughing her butt off. She is talking, laughing, eating them greens like she's never eaten greens before. And I was like, is she talking to herself or is she just laughing at what they're doing? Girl, she back there talking to Marcel. They
Right?
that scene a few times because you see Melody come up, but Marcel isn't in the back. So she comes up to address Martell and she was like, listen, March of 2018, this happened. Or March of 2017, this happened. October of 2017, this happened. April of 2018, this happened. Like she is given those dates when let's talk about the apartment. Let's talk
Right?
about this.
She kept turning around in circles.
Right. So the scene is absolutely cut poorly because you can see that Marceau is not in some of those scenes, and then he is.
Yeah.
Um,
You can even in some of the scenes you can like the scene between Mel and Martell, I'm sorry, Mel and Marceau, too many M's. The scene between Mel and Marceau when they're in the kitchen eating the greens,
mhm.
you can still hear Martell in the back yelling.
Yeah, you still hear Martell in the back.
Hmm.
So that's how you know that they cut it different. But the one I can't even speak. When Kimmy and Tisha are talking, Tisha makes another odd comment. This is the odd comment number 2, where where Kimmy says, what is this about? And she goes, well, Martell is mad because Mel never admits to what she did wrong. Womp womp. What? And then you overhear Melody say, because I don't do anything wrong. But why did Tisha say that?
Boom. Right? Exactly.
Okay.
Now you can go about your day.
Now we get to Melody and Marceau in that little kitchen area. And then Marceau just screams out, well, Mel, I believed everything Martell said because you used to be evil to us.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Third thing that just didn't land. I'm like,
Right.
well, that's a bomb to drop. What do you mean she used to be evil to y'all? Didn't get
Right.
addressed. Melody just says, wait a minute. After I left that Joker, I was checking for y'all. And he goes, no, and then Mel puts her hand on his arm and she said, no, listen to me carefully. After I
Right.
left the Joker, was I evil to y'all? And he said, no, but you owe Tisha a conversation.
I know, then why the hell did you say it? Why are they dropping off these nuggets of, no, I got nothing. I got nothing
Are
else.
you suggesting that she was evil before she left the Joker? And if
What?
so,
I don't get it.
what was the evil? What was the evil?
What was it?
Nobody says. That's what I meant when I say they drop off the bomb.
Yeah.
Nobody's having the conversation. But
Nobody's
then
having the conversation because you told me something yesterday that I thought was extremely evil. That whole story about Marceau putting a restraining order
on Martell,
on Martell and how it affected their business. And Melody had to come to him and was like, what are you doing?
oh,
That was when they were still together.
Melody walked into the construction site with her high heels on and her ponytail. She said, leave my mama's name out your mouth. And I know what the hell you thought you were trying to do. And it's not going to work. It was a great scene. I'm telling you, they used to really bring us some
But
gems.
when you said that, my first thought was, damn, that's evil.
It is evil.
That's evil.
I mean, there's more evil. There's more.
Right. And he's bringing up, oh, the evil stuff you use. Well, what was it?
What was it? That's what I said,
Because we got
child.
receipts on yours.
Facts. Facts. Everything you said. Everything you said. But then the fourth bomb that just gets dropped off with nobody doing any follow-up is Melody and Marceau are in the kitchen and Martell is screaming. I think it's Melody and Marceau in the kitchen. It could be Marceau out with Martell at this point. But he starts screaming to everybody, I think Nell Fletcher says, You make us pick sides. You are always telling us to pick a side. Tisha says he's never asked us to pick sides. He's always said what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. What does
Mm-hmm.
that mean, Tisha?
I
But
don't know, girl, because you're walking around here with a whole he thinks I'm cheating and I'm having a baby by somebody else, even though I'm not even pregnant.
right, goofball. That's exactly what I mean. But then Martell says, why are you guys friends with her? So even though Tisha said he doesn't make us choose sides, he definitely is asking in this moment that you choose sides. He literally said, yeah, you can't come over my house if you're still friends with her. That's what he says.
Yeah, and he says it right then and there because Nell was like, "Who are you talking about?" And he said, "You, Marceau, and Fletcher." And she said, "Hold them accountable then, because I told you from jump I'm a woman first."
Right. So she's the only person standing up for her friend in this
Mm-hmm.
moment. Whereas Tisha, Kimmy, sloppy women. But then Martell says, she threw me under the bus, she threw you under the bus, and she tried to put me in jail. I'm like, okay,
What?
crickets.
When
We're
did
getting
she try to put him in
somewhere.
jail?
Well, she
Now
probably
that's a nugget I want to hear.
she probably tried to put him in jail because of the revenge piece.
Oh, that's right, because this is around the same time. Okay.
It's all around the same time, but Melody had this video where she was like, "Yo ass is going to jail," basically. Her and her entire family were singing in a video that was on, shared
I
on
remember that
IG.
video
You
on IG.
remember, child?
Mm-hmm.
I think it went to the tune of "Girl, Why You Lying?
Mm-hmm.
Why You Lying?" I don't know. That dude did some other jokes that I remember, but either way, it was done to some R&B tune, and, they was banging on tables, child, and really making a nice little ditty out of it, and I enjoyed it.
Okay. I do
But
remember it. I do remember it. Hmm.
after all that said and done, it drops, but nothing else is said. Because I would be the friend to be like, when did she try to put your ass in jail, sir? Go on and tell you didn't said that much, say it all. Okay.
Ciao. And then ask why it didn't occur. It's
Okay.
really the question.
But that's pretty much it. That was the scene in a nutshell. The Fletchers basically say, well, we can't even walk Kiki out now because Martell acted a plum, monkey. So she gets to stay. We're going horseback riding. Everybody get your things on. Meet us back up here in 15 minutes. Okay. Now everybody goes and put on their cowboy hats and their cowboy digs. But you know who didn't have cowboy digs? Kiki. Did they not? I guess she didn't know they were going to be horseback riding. She didn't get the hat and stuff like all the rest of the
Um,
cast.
hmm.
You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody got a hat on. Well, Kimmy has on a baseball hat.
Right. Kimmy had no intentions of going
Oh, but Kimmy
horseback, right?
wasn't gonna ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But now we are at the ranch, and it looks like Kiki gets out of another car, doesn't it? Like she
Yeah.
didn't get to ride in the same car as them,
Yep.
as
She's
the
coming
group.
out of a different area.
So I don't know. Do you feel like it's giving you Spike Lee School Days, where they separated the light skin from the dark
Right.
skin
The
girl?
jigaboos and the yeah.
Only they're
Um,
separating Kiki from the rest of the group so that tension could be, you know, manufactured here.
yeah. They took it to the nth degree. Now I got to be honest with you. When I just watched the episode, I was still a little confused. Like, huh? Well, what's going on? Because I'm not seeing all this drama that was manufactured online. But
Uh-huh.
that extra clip that they show for the next, I don't know if that was like unedited or if that's a part of the next episode. But that extra clip that they show at that campfire.
It's called it's a excuse me, unaired footage.
That's unaired footage. Okay, so they're
Deleted
not going to
scene.
show it. Yeah, that brought it home. That brought it home for me.
So listen, let's talk about this scene because
Hmm.
Kiki is clearly boiling. Her temperature was already up. Her
Yeah,
temperature
I was
was up
tense
in the
watching
house.
it. Yeah.
When they told her that she had to leave, She pretty much didn't say anything after that. She was eating
She
greens
was
and
pretty
stuff with
quiet.
everybody, but
Yeah.
she wasn't talking. She wasn't talking in the house when everybody else was losing it. And pretty much everybody was ignoring her. They were making it about Melody and Martell because that's what the Scots do best. They saw an opportunity to back their shit up and they did it. Okay?
Oh, that's a really good angle. I didn't think
Listen,
of it that way.
that's what they were waiting for. They knew that
Oh,
production wanted a scene with Kiki,
Kiki.
and they
Uh-huh.
they weren't going to give them a scene with Kiki. That's what they did.
Okay.
Kiki again just missed the fact that there's a trick being played here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a trick being played here. Unfortunately for Kiki, again, she might be able to come back season 7 and try again
I hope
because
so. Yeah.
really what's happening for me when I'm watching this show is you have people that are very in tune to one another, attuned to each other in a
Mm-hmm.
way that the newbies aren't going to be, and they take advantage of that. So, um, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
Melody and Tisha are working on being cordial, not besties, but cordial, just coming into scenes and doing their thing. But Melody already said, I have an agreement to be just as low down dirty as y'all when y'all want to act stupid.
Right?
I'm going to pull the same game and we can smile and kiki right after that. I'm cool.
Right.
I'm cool
We can
with it.
smile and Kiki right after that. And it takes people a while because we've watched some pretty rough seasons. We've
Yes.
watched some pretty rough seasons there with people. And even you said, like, gosh, I can't stand watching these people on islands
Yeah,
be
they
so mad at each
on
other. Yeah, like
islands
we've
by
got to get it
themselves.
together.
But
Yeah.
that's where Kiki is right now. She is on an island by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Tisha makes the comment, "Ugh, what did she say about her? Look like she's a ghost. She's walking around like a ghost when she got off the bus because nobody was engaging her."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then we get them sitting. The counselor or whoever this woman is says, "Listen, I could tell that you guys were a fractured group before you even walked up here. Like I've sensed it. I sensed your energy before you got off the bus." Now, I am going to bring in some of that deleted footage. Y'all can check it out either on my IG stories right now, or you can see the whole clip over on OWN. Just you can see it. It says something about Kiki didn't want to hear what the counselor had to say. Go to that scene because it is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it's
It was
called,
very authentic of her.
yes, it was authentic.
It
First, let me
was.
say this.
Yeah.
Let
I
me say
felt
this.
it. I mean,
Some
it
of these
you got me feeling some kind of way. I felt it when she was doing that scene.
okay.
I
So
felt for her because I could see that she was really upset.
okay, so I was just about to say, let me also say before people start crying about how you ripping Kiki a new one, because I'll be reading them comments, child. Half of that stuff I'll be like, I know I have prefaced this in the best way possible, but
Right.
Kiki gave an honest reaction.
She did. It
Was
was
she in
very
her
honest.
feelings? 100%.
Yep.
She was in her feelings. She was not in her right mind. In the same way that we saw Destiny like leave her body, I would say that to a degree, Kiki left her body. She was in a bad place that entire day, it looked like, starting
Yeah.
from the house.
Yeah.
Now you are here at this bonfire.
And it's the
And
final straw. Yep.
it's the final straw. Now, what if there was conversation had before we got that deleted scene? Don't know. But the counselor is coming at her as an adult saying, "Hey, girl, I know you've had some problems." No, I'm fine. She's
Mm-hmm.
cutting her off. She's quick. She's like, "Well, she's just really trying to say, Kiki, I get it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
on your side. I just want to give you some tools to help you kind of get over this anger." And for someone who said they were in counseling and that they were in anger management, for her to cut off this lady the way she did
Mm-hmm.
wasn't wasn't well played. That's the best way I can say it.
It wasn't well played. She definitely could have done it a different way, but it wasn't honest play.
It wasn't well played, but it was her true
It was
energy
a
in that
true
moment.
energy. Exactly.
Not
Which I am okay with if that's what you're given.
okay. She couldn't do anything different than what she gave.
Right.
because that's all she knew to give.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying that out loud, and now I'm going to say this.
Okay.
There's no way you could watch Kiki in that moment and believe that she wants to sever a relationship with her cousin, which is what
Agreed.
started this entire BS in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
In season 6A, she said, I want to prove to you that I am different.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an
Not the same person.
opportunity
Yep.
to see that I am not the same person. That
Mm-hmm.
is what she said in season 6A. Then she started moving differently because of her online interaction. And I don't mean online with any blogger. I mean how she was communicating and engaging with fans who didn't like Tisha. Just because the fans didn't like Tisha didn't mean that was what she was feeling in her heart. And we know this because you can watch her in interviews speak of Tisha with sugar plums in her damn eyeballs. At one point, someone had asked her a question or said something like, your cousin doesn't love you. She wanted to cry. And that felt like that was just last month.
Mm.
Her eyes welled with tears, welled with tears that she didn't let drop, but she was broken because she does want that relationship with Tisha. So telling her to not do it doesn't make it better for her.
Right.
She has to play out the steps. Otherwise, she will keep being the very person she is right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is all there is to it. I hate to see people go into spaces they're not ready to be. It's not fair to them. They will keep repeating really horrible cycles in their lives. And she is going to, this is going to be a hard one for her to overcome, especially if she wants to be on the show. It's just going to be. And we are going to watch her play out anger and regret in the same way we watch Martell play out anger and regret with Mel. That's my feeling.
Okay.
A
Okay.
lot of who she was in that very scene with the counselor in the unedited version was Martell-esque to me. I said, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, this is very reminiscent of what Martell would do. This is very reminiscent of what Tisha would do." In fact, Martell gets so uncomfortable watching it, he starts saying, "Oh my God!" Like, I was like, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
God, you
Yeah.
need to hush and get back
Right.
to a private meeting."
When she was talking about her being the 5-year-old in her.
Yeah, when she said, "You're a child, you're responding right now, you don't
Mm-hmm.
see it," Martell starts screaming out for her because he needs an appointment.
Right.
Make one, sir.
Right.
But Melody at one point tries to stop Kiki. And
Yeah.
look at her face. She's staring at Kiki like, please, I need you to bring it back to center. I need you to realize that you are off right now, that you are on another planet. Tisha and
Mm-hmm.
Marceau are watching this. Kimmy and Maurice are watching this. Nell actually teared up watching
Yeah.
it.
Nell looked devastated by it.
But Kiki can't hear it. And I
Mm-mm.
honestly feel like this is the moment that made Kiki feel like she wasn't supported by Melody.
By Melody, yeah. I could see why
Because
she
she
would.
didn't see
I
anything
can
else.
see her not feeling supported by anybody here. I can, because you can already tell she's off in her own world.
Oh
And
yeah.
so and because nobody's with her in that world, she's gonna feel like she's alone.
But the only person that was with her in that world was Mel
I
saying, "Girl, I'm sitting
know.
beside you
I know.
and I want you to come home. Come home, Kiki."
Right. But I truly believe that Kiki didn't feel
Oh,
that.
listen, at the end of the day, if you are human, you had a moment like Kiki had on that barrel of hay.
Yeah.
If you've lived, if you're not an 11-year-old,
Right.
you should be able to consciously admit, child, I had a moment like this.
Mm-hmm.
You've had probably many moments like this.
Mm-hmm.
She
Out of body. Mm-hmm.
simply had an out of body moment where she said, "Listen, I'm going to die on this motherfucker, okay?"
Mm-hmm. Right.
I
You were going so ham on trying to
never
prove
that you don't like Tisha or you don't care.
right. You don't need, you don't want, you don't. I ain't gotta have that. I don't need that. I'm over here. I'm doing this. I'm having a good old time. I'm great.
Right.
Girl, you're not.
You're
You're
not.
not.
And that's pretty much it. I
Yeah.
loved this episode, though. I still give it an 8.5 because of the atomic bombs that were dropped, and there was not a lot or no follow up whatsoever. But I think that Kiki gave us some of the most honest scenes in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
If we're asking for reality TV, it was some of the most honest and raw scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that her mouth is saying opposite of what her heart wants.
Mm-hmm.
And that is obvious. And she has to figure out how to connect those dots so she
Mm-hmm.
can heal herself, even if it's saying, because really what she wants, this is what I heard her say. Y'all can go back to season 6A if you want. I want to prove to you that I'm not that person anymore,
Right.
period. And just taking from what I heard her say in the interview I did with her in April, I believe, when I point blank asked her why didn't she, did she believe that her cousin was trying to stop her from coming onto the show? And she said, I don't believe so. And I asked her what happened, and she said that she was going through a depression before she was going through a depression. That's how she said it. I was depressed. I said, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And I started asking her some questions about depression. And then I also asked her, she said something like, Tisha thought that because I came out of the depression, that I would go back into it because of the show. I have to say, this show is heavy on people. Child, look at the people who ended up falling down, child, and not getting back up.
And not getting back up. And I want to see Kiki get back up, but Destiny did not deserve to get back up.
Right. I know people are
Yeah.
like, we want to hear about the lawsuits. Child, did we not watch Martell lose his entire livelihood? Melody and Martell lost everything. Melody rebuilt, but Martell did not gain what he lost.
Mm-mm.
He did not gain
No,
back what he lost.
sure
And
didn't.
that is like a complete ripping away of things. His mama lost her house. Like, that's a lot to ask for people watching a show, right? It
Right.
can be a little hard, even if you don't like the person. I can't imagine. I mean, losing your home got to be the hardest thing you could do.
Mm.
One of the hardest things you could lose, outside of your children. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, your home is your safety. But there's a lot that happens on this show where people can't pick themselves up. And so I'm trying to be conscious of that. And that's why I have always, if you follow me, I have always tried to look at things from everybody's side, even when people didn't want me to, because I know that it's a hard thing to do, to put everything you have on Front Street for
Yeah.
judgment. And then sometimes it goes past judgment. It's a tear
Mm-hmm.
down. So anyway, if Kiki shows back up, I just remember the things she said in the beginning. And if she's changed those things, if she's saying, listen, I've had some time to sit with myself and this is the reason why, then okay, that's the story you tell next. So anyway, that's all I have, sis. What do you have? Anything else?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay. Well, child, I would like for all of y'all to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share the video, of course, because that's how others find me. And I will talk to you all on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.